Hey there, conspiracy enthusiast. Pull up a chair and settle in because we're about to dive into one of the most legendary and controversial mysteries of the 20th century, the Philadelphia experiment. This story has everything: classified military experiments, time travel, teleportation, and enough plot twists to rival your favorite sci-fi thriller. Whether you're a skeptic or a believer, this tale will leave you questioning what's possible and what's just plain wild. It all supposedly began in October 1943 during World War II, when the U.S. Navy allegedly conducted an experiment so secret that its existence wasn't officially acknowledged for decades. The goal? To render a warship invisible, not just to radar, but to the naked eye. Sounds crazy, right? But according to legend, they succeeded. The ship in question was the USS Eldridge, a modest destroyer escort stationed in the Philadelphia Naval Yard. Scientists working under the direction of physicists like Albert Einstein, yes, that Einstein, allegedly used advanced electromagnetic fields to bend light around the vessel, effectively making it vanish from sight. Some versions of the story claim the experiment went even further, causing the ship to teleport hundreds of miles away to Norfolk, Virginia, before returning moments later. But here's where things get really strange. If the rumors are true, the Philadelphia experiment didn't just disappear a ship, it warped reality itself. Surviving crew members reportedly experienced horrifying side effects. Some sailors claimed parts of their bodies fused with metal bulkheads or other objects aboard the ship. Others said they briefly materialized inside solid walls before being yanked back into existence. Witnesses described feeling as though hours passed in seconds, or vice versa. One account even mentioned seeing visions of futuristic cities and alien landscapes. Many crew members suffered severe psychological trauma after the experiment, with symptoms ranging from amnesia to hallucinations. Several were institutionalized, while others simply vanished without a trace. By the end of the ordeal, the Eldridge had supposedly returned to its original location, but not everyone made it back alive. Those who did were forever changed by what they'd witnessed. Now let's rewind a bit. The first public mention of the Philadelphia experiment came in 1955, when a man named Morris K. Jessup published a book called The Case for the UFO. In it, he recounted letters he'd received from someone claiming to be part of the project. According to these accounts, the Navy's goal wasn't invisibility per se, it was developing stealth technology to protect Allied ships from enemy attacks. Fast forward to 1979, when author Charles Berlitz and researcher William L. Moore wrote The Philadelphia Experiment, Project Invisibility, which popularized the story worldwide. Their book included eyewitness testimonies, classified documents, and chilling details about the experiment's aftermath. It became an instant hit among conspiracy theorists and sci-fi fans alike. Of course, not everyone buys into the myth of the Philadelphia experiment. Historians and scientists have raised several red flags over the years. Despite extensive research, no credible documentation of the experiment has ever surfaced. The U.S. Navy denies any involvement, stating that such a project would have required resources and technology far beyond what was available in 1943. While electromagnetic fields can interfere with radar signals, bending light around an entire ship is orders of magnitude more complex. Modern cloaking devices are still experimental and limited to small-scale applications, making the idea of a fully invisible battleship laughable. Eyewitness accounts vary wildly, with some describing teleportation to Mars and others focusing on mundane details like equipment malfunctions. These inconsistencies suggest embellishment or outright fabrication. Some researchers believe the entire story was concocted as a prank or propaganda tactic. For example, the name Carlos Allende, one of the primary sources cited in Berlitz and Moore's book, turned out to be a pseudonym for Carl Meredith Allen, a known hoaxer with a history of fabricating tales. Even if the Philadelphia experiment never happened, its allure lies in the questions it raises about human ambition, secrecy, and the boundaries of science. Here's why people keep coming back to it. Governments love their classified programs, especially during wartime. From Area 51 to MK Ultra, real-life examples of covert operations fuel our fascination with hidden truths. Could the Philadelphia experiment be another piece of the puzzle? The idea of bending space-time, achieving invisibility, or teleporting across vast distances feels ripped straight from a Philip K. Dick novel. Stories like this remind us that sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. We're naturally drawn to stories that push the envelope of what's possible. If the Philadelphia experiment succeeded, even partially, it would mean humanity had unlocked secrets of the universe far ahead of schedule. There's something deeply unsettling about the thought of tampering with forces we don't fully understand. What if the experiment opened a rift in reality? What if the consequences spilled over into our world? These what-ifs keep us glued to the story. So, did the Philadelphia experiment actually happen? Probably not. Most experts agree that it's a mix of myth, misunderstanding, and creative storytelling. That said, the lack of concrete evidence hasn't stopped millions of people from speculating about what might have gone down in those waters off the coast of Philly. Whether you see it as a cautionary tale about unchecked scientific ambition or a thrilling glimpse into alternate possibilities, the Philadelphia experiment continues to captivate imaginations. And hey, maybe someday declassified files will finally reveal the truth. Until then, we'll have to content ourselves with theories, debates, and late-night discussions about whether the USS Eldridge truly disappeared or if it's just another ghost ship lost to history. What do you think? Is this a genuine case of government secrecy gone rogue, or is it all smoke and mirrors? Either way, it's a reminder that the line between fact and fiction is thinner than we often realize.